Hello everybody. We will talk about intermittent fasting today. I want to do at least 2 sessions of intermittent fasting training series because in this group I want to start this intermittent fasting to reverse diseases and also lose weight as a New Year resolution. Starting the second week of January. So for the ones who want to join us. Okay, let's start. First of all, if you're going to do intermittent fasting with us, you need to consult your doctor first, because intermittent fasting is more effective than all the blood pressure, sugar, heart medications. If you do intermittent fasting and continue your medications, your blood sugar and blood pressure will drop below normal and you will endanger your health. Okay? Please consult with your doctor, because intermittent fasting is more potent than any medicine out there. Okay? If you continue taking your medications, it's going to be dangerous for you. That's why you need to talk to your doctor so that your doctor can adjust your medication dose, gradually lower the doses, and finally stop the medication if you continue with intermittent fasting. Okay. Everyone is looking for a diet to lose weight, recover from diseases, and longevity, because population's health is declining, unfortunately, because of these excess food, excess calories, and processed food. So everybody is looking for a solution because their health is declining. This diet, that diet, everyone is confused. But fasting is the point on which everyone agrees. That's the common ground, fasting. In addition, there is fasting in every religion. Ramadan fast in Muslim, Yom Kippur of the Jews, and Lent for the Christians. Buddhists also fast by not eating in the afternoon. The human body is very forgiving. Even if your diet is not very healthy, with regular fasting, your body works so hard to undo the harmful effects of an unhealthy diet. So it tries to get rid of the damage from an unhealthy diet. In the past, people ate early. They ate healthy. They ate whole food. They ate when they found the food. They did not eat when they couldn't find it. Animals cannot find food, sufficient food in the winter. They don't eat or drink when they are sick, for example, right? So this fasting is not something new. It's just like, since the human history. Mark Twain also believed in the benefits of hunger and said, a little starvation can really do more for the average sick man than can the best medicines and the best doctors. Benjamin Franklin said something about fasting too. The best of all medicines are resting and fasting. All over the world, people's diet have changed compared to the past. Life is faster, people eat from outside more instead of cooking at home. Food is processed more, and it's become more fattening and unhealthy. Let's not forget that eating frequently also is very stressful for the body, especially if we have an unhealthy diet. All metabolic diseases are caused by excessive calorie consumption. Okay? Hormones in the body are disrupted. That's the main reason. Excessive calorie consumption causes hormonal disruption. Insulin resistance, for example, leptin resistance. So leptin is a satiety hormone. So we have resistance to that as well. Disruption of the balance between the hunger hormone ghrelin and leptin, and the satiety hormone, leptin and ghrelin imbalance, IGF-1, the growth hormone imbalance. So hormonal balance, the body's settings are disrupted, which causes rapid aging. That's why we age. Like hormonal imbalance is the main reason. So we cannot eliminate this damage with medicine. There is no medicine that can do this. With fasting, insulin levels return to normal. Okay, because insulin is the key. Insulin rises, we store fat. Insulin gets lower and we are in fat burning mode. Okay? And when insulin levels turn to normal, we start recycling old proteins. The key word is insulin. Okay, even in protein mechanism. So if you do not eat, insulin levels return to normal, then fat burning and weight loss starts. You need to lower the insulin level. Fasting is the only way to lower the insulin levels to normal levels. Okay, so how is the intermittent fasting different from restricting calories by eating small amounts frequently every day? So why not eat like 5 times a day and just do calorie restriction, and you don't have to fast that way? So if you say you should restrict your calories and eat little, like 5 times a day to lose weight, your cells will be starved. Your cells will be deprived, starved of nutrients, and you won't have energy. You will feel low energy throughout the day. You're gonna slow down your metabolism. You may even start gaining weight because the gauge is gonna be different. Your body is going to start operating with low calories. It's gonna get used to that, and then when you start eating normal calories, because you can't sustain low calorie diet forever. When you start eating normal calories, you're going to start gaining weight again. Eating this way is against human nature. The nature of the human body is designed to fast and feast periodically. In human history, people have endured hunger for long periods of time. In long winters, during the Great World Wars, in genocide camps, for example, right? Now let's look in more detail at what happens to our body when we don't eat. After 14-16 hours of not eating, fat burning starts and ketone bodies are formed. People think that skipping a meal will make them feel tired and brain fog, but in the beginning that's correct, until you get used to. But according to the studies, it's just the opposite. Brain cells become stronger. Communication between them increases. And diseases such as depression and anxiety improve. It improves memory and focus, and generally it makes you feel good and hopeful. Now, let's look at the effects of intermittent fasting proven in laboratory studies. Every organism studied in the laboratory, including bacteria, viruses, fungi, and experimental animals, live longer and never get sick when they are starved intermittently. In Harvard laboratory experiments, for example, animals whose calories were restricted by 40% lived 40% longer. In addition, they did not suffer from chronic diseases, and their tumors also shrank. So even their cancer disappeared. As a result of these studies, Harvard University's longevity genetics came to the conclusion that Calorie restriction is the only method that delays aging and that rejuvenates. To get the best results, it's ideal to have your eating time when you are most active during the day, not later in the day. In human studies on intermittent fasting, patients with type 2 diabetes who use insulin gradually reduce and stop their insulin use within 2 weeks. Intermittent fasting is the most effective method to eliminate insulin resistance. Think about it. No medicine can reduce and normalize both sugar and insulin levels at the same time. There is no medicine for that. Just fasting. Just not eating. The blood pressure of like patients who have blood pressure medications, their blood pressure improved in 2 weeks and their medications were able to gradually reduce the dose and also stop the medication in 2 weeks. The CRP value, this inflammation marker, improved. It turned to normal. Stem cell production started, and the risk of autoimmune, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and Alzheimer decreased. Now let's look at the scientific explanation about fasting. There is a concept called autophagy. You may have heard of it. Autophagy means self-eating in Greek word. Autophagy is the process of self-renewal and repair of all cells in the body, including brain cells. After approximately 16 hours of daily fasting, repairing and reusing old and broken proteins that have become tangled and clogging the cells, those proteins get swept away with autophagy and cells start becoming rejuvenated. This autophagy concept was first described by a Japanese scientist called Yoshinori Ohsumi. This scientist got the 2016 Nobel Prize with this discovery. If we constantly eat, we cannot reach autophagy, even if we eat healthy food. Okay, for autophagy to reach autophagy, we need at least 16 to 18 hour fasting. If we eat even if we eat healthy food, we always produce insulin, and insulin never goes down, and sugar stays high. We are always in fat storage mode. Okay, let's think of this as spring cleaning. Intermittent fasting as spring cleaning. Yes, the cleaning phase is a stressful process, but after spring cleaning, your house will be fresh, smell clean, and you will feel good yourself, mentally and physically. Okay, the human body is very smart. When we start the human body, our cells start to eat the things that are the most dangerous for our body, right? During this autophagy process, it eats the cholesterol, excess cholesterol. It eats the plaques in the arteries. It eats the fat deposits. It eats the inflammation. It eats all the waste materials that cause congestion. It's not going to just go eat the muscle tissue that you need. It's going to eat the most harmful things in your body. For example, fatty liver. The fat in the liver. How are you going to get rid of that? There is no way. There is no medication for that. Those patients get worse and worse. The treatment for fatty liver is diet change. And the faster method is fasting. There's no cure for this, just the opposite. We have to stop all the medications of the patient, even the diabetes medications, cholesterol medications, because they cannot process those medications in their liver anymore, because it's already just so stressed out. The effect of intermittent fasting on the brain health is also very important. Its benefits to the brain are countless. It's more than autophagy actually. There are more processes for the brain during the intermittent fasting. In addition to autophagy, after approximately 17 hours of fasting, a protein called BDNF, brain-derived neurofactor, okay, that BDNF is produced in the brain to ensure survival, searching and finding the food, okay, so that the person doesn't just, drop dead. So genetics and longevity researchers call this brain fertilizer. With BDNF, brain produces new brain cells from stem cells, okay? It repairs, strengthens and rejuvenates existing, old, worn out and damaged brain cells. It repairs the connection between the cells and bridges between brain cells, strengthens the communication from one brain cell to another, okay? Brain cells become very active with the instinct of searching food for survival, okay? Damaged DNA and damaged genes are repaired during this process. This process improves learning and memory. Thus, the risk of Alzheimer's is eliminated. There is no medicine that will do this. Only fasting and heavy lifting, heavy exercise provides this. Another effect of intermittent fasting on the brain. Intermittent fasting also increases a substance called GABA in the brain. As proven in medical studies, even when taken externally as a supplement, this substance calms down people. It's a calming effect. It reduces the stress, improves sleep, lowers the blood pressure, relaxes the muscles, strengthens the memory, prevents and relieves anxiety and depression, and prevents Alzheimer's. With intermittent fasting, our brain produces GABA itself. We don't even need a supplement from outside. Another factor, another hormone is serotonin. The production of serotonin, this happiness hormone, is like how it makes you content longer time. It's not like the dopamine, like quick surge. Serotonin is like long-lasting happiness. So serotonin is produced in gut microbiome. 80-90% of serotonin in our body, this happiness hormone, is produced in our good gut microbiome. So bad microbiome, bad bacteria in our gut dies quickly. It cannot survive the starvation. So good bacteria stays longer, active longer. So they produce this serotonin. So good microbiome, basically good microbiome becomes dominant in our gut and bad bacteria dies. So think about it. After 16-18 hours of hunger, our brain will rejuvenate, rest and think better because of autophagy and BDNF, which begin with the instinct to survive in our body and go and search for food, okay? If humans and animals did not have this survival skill, we would have been wiped off from this earth by now, right? Okay, let's finish by repeating this. With intermittent fasting, you are changing your genetic program. by just narrowing your hours of daily eating without counting calories. Do you have an Alzheimer's gene, a diabetes gene, a heart disease gene? You repair all of these faulty genes, okay? This is called epigenetics. In other words, you surpass your genes. You leave your bad genes behind. Genetics have a famous saying, your genetics load the gun, your lifestyle pulls the trigger. Basically, your diet is the one that pulls the trigger. You repair and use the proteins that are damaged, tangled and clogging the cells. You reduce inflammation and start burning fat. You eat up all the zombie cells. The functioning of every organ in your body will improve and you will become stronger. That's why some athletes fast to relieve joint pain and inflammation. Some actors also try to stay young with regular intermittent fasting. I gave the example of Chris Hemsworth, right? In my Facebook post, how he did fasting, regular fasting, to stay young for his show in Disney Channel. Harvard geneticist David Sinclair, he has a book about longevity. He fasts himself. He's just like 1 meal a day. Brian Johnson, this American businessman, invests millions of dollars every year for the longevity project. And he has all these coaches from all over the world, the most experts, and yeah, he's been told to eat only like in the first half of the day. So he eats only early breakfast and 11 a.m. lunch, and that's it. He doesn't eat anything afternoon. It's just like Buddhists. They don't eat anything in afternoon. Okay. Now let's take a look at the benefits of fasting and what's the scientific mechanism, right? Insulin resistance, we say. Insulin resistance will be reversed and type 2 diabetes will be in remission. Leptin resistance will be reversed as well. We will stop being addicted to food. Cravings will go away, okay? Even coffee cravings. Some people say that they don't even want to drink coffee anymore after regular intermittent fasting. We will start burning fat, okay? Not only type 2 diabetes, you will be protected and saved from all the chronic diseases caused by excess food and inflammation, such as autoimmune diseases like cancer, cholesterol, and heart diseases, arthritis. Remember, when the body is hungry, the first thing it eats is inflammation. Inflammation is the food, okay? So our body is going to eat the most dangerous stuff. It's going to start eating from those. Your memory will be stronger. Your brain health will be protected. And you will be prevented from many diseases such as anxiety, depression, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. It increases exercise performance. In animal experiments, the group that ate only within an 8-hour period during the day stayed on the treadmill twice as long as the group that ate ad libitum. Once you get used to intermittent fasting, you will be more energetic and productive during the hours you don't eat. Your skin will become beautiful, youthful. Your body will secrete its own collagen, and your skin will be tighter. The damaged old proteins will be eaten by our inflammatory cells, okay, and the tissues will be cleaned up and tightened. Your immune system will be strengthened, and you will not be able to catch cold easily and frequently. You will extend your lifespan, okay? Okay, so let's finish here. Next week we will talk about the types of intermittent fasting. There are these daily fasting, and then some other types, how many hours a day, calorie restrictions, time restricted eating. So we will talk about those next week, and you will choose whichever is suitable for you, for your body, for your lifestyle, for your family life. So whichever is useful for you, you're going to choose that method. Of course, you can change, you can experiment different ones too along the way, but as a New Year resolution, second week of January, we will start this fasting together, and to reverse insulin resistance, lose the weight. And next week I will talk about these intermittent fasting methods, and if we need one more session the first week of January, we can do another session just before we start the fasting spree. Okay, so if you have any questions, please write to me. I'm going to answer during the week or during our live session next week. Okay, so I'm very excited about that. I already started doing it. I'm a very experienced faster for long years. Since the COVID, since the pandemic, I've been fasting. That's how I'm able to keep my insulin and sugar levels normal, and I feel better, and no aches, no pains. So hopefully you will reach your goal with intermittent fasting with the support of this group. Okay, so talk to you next week. I will meet you guys next week live at the same time. Okay, bye, have a nice week. Bye bye.